The Carolina Pro Football Report, presented by National PAL. Support National PAL at nationalpal.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN. After a 19-13 win over the Falcons a week ago that saw the emergence of Amir Abdullah as well as the reemergence of Stephon Gilmore, the Carolina Panthers are back at home. That win elevated the Panthers to a 4-4 record, third place in the NFC South standings. This week, they'll face another rookie quarterback who leads one of the most storied franchises in the NFL. And Mac Jones and the New England Patriots are also 4-4 after knocking off the Los Angeles Rams and looking to stop the Panthers from adding a second straight win. Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Tolbert along with ADSN analyst Charles Arbuckle. And Charles, today is not just an opportunity for the Panthers to extend their winning ways, but it's also a chance for Stephon Gilmore to get a little revenge.
I think I'm motivated, anytime I step on the field, obviously I spent a lot of time there. I'm just going to, study those guys like I study every week and trust my technique and make plays for the team. In between the lines is different, I'm trying to do whatever I can to, win that snap when I'm out there. I'm happy to be here now. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm just looking forward to going out there and playing the way I know how to play. Whatever happened there is between, it happened, so I'm just happy I'm here.
So, Charles, on the exterior, Stephon seems to be very calm, cool, collected, but he is now one of the anchors on this defense, and there's a beast underneath that hood.
Yeah, I mean, Kev, when you think about Stephon, I know he's in a position where he really wants to come home. Growing up in Rock Hill, South Carolina, having him on our show before and really talking to him. I saw him before the game. He had his game face on. Usually he's smiling, said hello, he said what's up, but I think he's ready and primed and ready to play, especially when you get released from a team or when you've gone through things. He's never going to go into that with the public, but no, as a former player, I just know when my team has kind of given up on me or made me feel like they didn't want me anymore, that's where I'm going to play my best football. And the Panthers are going to still slowly put him in the mix, but that gives them a veteran leader in that secondary that they really need.
So they've got a lot of teeth on this defense, especially in the pass rush game. Hassan Reddick is going to be ready to feast on a rookie quarterback today, but he's not looking quite like a rookie these days.
No, Mac Jones has played well. He really has. I mean, last few weeks teams have gotten to him, but they've been able to run the football with Damian Harris, who has about 286 yards, 4 touchdowns over the last 3 games. They've run the ball just as well as the Panthers. So I think when I look at this game, it's who can get a lead, hold on to that lead, and let your defense play. Because Belichick's going to have something. It's going to be a bare front. It's going to be dog blitzes. It's going to be something to stop you from running the football. And I think Phil Snow, who met Bill Belichick in 1997 at Arizona State, Belichick just decided to come and talk to him because he had conversations with the A-State players the night before. They've known each other since then. Both minds work really similarly, and I think Phil Snow has done a really nice job transitioning. You talked about Hassan Reddick, 10 Panthers with a sack, at least 1 sack. So these guys will get after you. We know on the other side, Judon and all those guys will follow suit and get after whoever's at the quarterback, if it's Sam or P.J. Walker.
Now, on the offensive side of the ball is where the Panthers have struggled. A lot of guys on IR, but they have Christian McCaffrey back today if they want to use him.
Yeah.
They also have Sam Darnold if he's available to go, since he's out of the concussion protocol now. How do you see them looking today?
I think they want to run the ball 40 times or more. I think that's their plan with whoever's playing quarterback. I also think this. I'm wondering how Christian comes back because he selfishly and ego-wise, not in a bad way, he wants to play when he's healthy. The key is Chuba Hubbard has played well. They've also got good stuff from Amir Abdullah and then Royce Freeman. So you got 4 guys now that can run the rock, and I think that gives them a chance to keep whoever the hot hand hot. Chuba Hubbard fumbled on the first play last week, came back strong. So I think we're going to see a healthy dose of the running game, and that allows Sam Darnold or P.J. Walker not to have to force things because P.J. has not had a lot of passes this year. When he has, he hasn't played particularly well. Sam plays better than me when the run game is strong.
Now, one thing that offensive coordinator Joe Brady has a tendency to do is rely on Christian McCaffrey when he's available. What does he need to do to not fall back into those types of habits?
I want to see them spread the ball more. I want to still see them get the tight ends involved, Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas. I want to see them actually force themselves to use the tight end position, because I think that's one area that you can exploit New England. I mean, and then also Robbie Anderson has to have a good game. Get him involved early so he gets his mind into the game, so he doesn't, worry about if I'm going to get any touches, so he can play. DJ Moore, we know what he's going to do. I think early on you're going to see a healthy dose of run, so you can set up some of that play action pass. At least target the tight ends 8 or 10 times, in my opinion, because that's where you're going to attack New England.
Well, before we move on to these New England Patriots that are visiting today and trying to get into the win column themselves at 4-4, we had a chance to sit down with one of the Panthers coaches on the second season of Chopping It Up with Buck, your show, and we got to talk with Coach Whitaker.
Hey, join us, Chopping It Up with Buck. We finally made it back. It's been busy. We've been doing different things, but we are here. I got Coach Cedric Whitaker with the Carolina Panthers, defensive assistant. He's going to be talking ball, talking about his story. We got it all, baby. Even Texas barbecue, which I love.
I was telling my dad, like, hey, Dad, I'm going off to Iowa. And of course, in his mind, like, nobody in the family's ever done this. I always kind of wanted to be a coach. My dad, he raised me, and he's always my coach, my little league coach in every sport that I played.
When they challenge you to see if you can still do something, you can still
I can still do it. I got a little something still down there. I would say the biggest adjustment, and I'm still adjusting to it right now today, is not running out on the field and wanting to be out there with those guys, So the biggest thing is I love teaching, that's why I coach. But more than that, I love learning. And I always was told, in order to be a great teacher, you first have to be a great learner. In order to be a great learner, you first got to be a great listener.
Well, Buck, Coach Whitaker, great guy. He's going to be a great coach, head coach someday in this league. But let's move back on to the Patriots. These guys are ready to eat today, too.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a young quarterback like Mac Jones that's playing really well, and Damian Harris has just been a godsend for them since they've lost. They do a rotation as well with Ramondre Stevenson. They got other guys that they can bring in there. Brandon Bethel, I think, is another one of their running backs. They want to run the football. But when they need to throw it, they've done a really nice job of getting it to Jacoby Myers, North Carolina State product, actually Charlotte product as well. Guys that can make plays on their offense. The thing with Mac Jones is you got to get him off the spot. You got to make him uncomfortable. And if you're not doing that, he gets into a rhythm. He has really shown this year that he can play ahead or from behind. He showed me something when they got behind against Dallas when his college teammate Diggs took it back to the house. He still came back and put them in contention to almost win that game.
Now, they've got a defense as well, but they're really banged up. Talk about how they're going to muster enough to try to match the Panthers today.
I don't care who they have. Belichick is a plug-and-play guy. He's always got flexibility in his defense. His front is good. Kyle Van Noy, who's coming back from injury, who was with Miami last year, played with them before, is back. They've got weapons on that defensive side. And I think that's the real key when you look at this team, having a guy like Devin McCourty in the back. Their back end is what makes them. It's similar to what Nick Saban does at Alabama. Belichick really has his defensive backs playing at a high level, and I think that's the key for them, attacking up front, whether it's Judon or Guy Lawrence. I mean, they've got some guys up front that can actually play really good football. We just don't call their names a lot. But their secondary is going to really challenge this Panther defense, and they're going to come with some exoticness. Usually they play cover two. It means two deep safeties. But I think you're going to see some things this week because they're going to have to try to stop the Panthers' running game. And I don't know if they're going to stay in cover two like they always like to. They're going to do some different things. Be aware of bear, be aware of double eagle, be aware of anything with Belichick because you don't see it on film. Cam Irvin talked about this. He said, when I played him when I was with the Browns, we were running the ball well. They shut us down. And what they did is they brought some things that we didn't see in film because Belichick will go back to 2009 and pull some stuff out of his butt. And you're like, okay, where did he come up with that? Well, his players understand the flexibility. So no matter if they're banged up or not, I really see this as a defensive battle, and whoever can get a lead We'll just try to hold on and bludgeon each other on the defensive side.
Well, it sounds like there'll be a lot of animals running around, eagles and bears and everything, but we can't get this pregame started until we find out the keys to the game for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I think the keys for the game, I talked about it. They have to run the ball, I think, at least 40 times. They have to play good on defense, keep Mac Jones behind the chains. And then the one thing we really haven't seen over the last few weeks, I want to see a special teams play or two where you have one of those big ones in the punt game, punt block, kickoff return, something there. But bottom line is get an early lead and put a stranglehold on it. I think that's the real key in this ball game.
Well, that about wraps it up for this pregame edition of the Carolina Pro Football Report on ADSN. I'm Kevin Tolbert along with Charles Arbuckle. We'll see you after the game.